fun. But yeah, I'd say my car drove good. It's awfully chilly out there, so it's nice to get tires up to temp right within probably going up to speed through 1 and 2. So yeah, after that's not too bad. It's easy wide open for us today.
Ricky was just talking about the temperatures and things and how it affects the track. And for you guys, during the race, how will it be a big factor at all?
So it's not really a factor, I would say, inside the car. It's more so of how we race, I would say. I feel like before, right, in trucks, we always talked about it a lot, is like the first Vegas to the second Vegas, because the first one was the second, third race of the year, and it's always really cold. And that race is more like a lot of drafting. You could trim your truck out more, and so now I feel like Atlanta is that racetrack, right? We come at extreme different temperatures. Obviously, it's usually our second race, or has been for the last year and this year, and it has a lot of grip. But then we come back here in the summertime, and it's just like 100 degrees, right? And it's complete opposite. So I think you just have to be on top of that, right? As far as how you build your car. On the flip side of it, the track is definitely aging. Every single time we come here, the old surface was really worn out, and obviously it's built in the exact same place. It's going to happen eventually. So it's nice to see the track aging, but at the same time, right, I think just the weather, you can afford to be a little bit more trimmed out for this first race, and then the second race, you probably want absolutely all the grip you can get.
The top 4 cars are Penske, and then you. So, I mean, I don't know how much. Do you guys still get some work a little bit with Penske, or do you consider that more you guys than Penske?
I mean, right, our front row motorsports guys and girls are still building these race cars, so I would say massive props to them, and we still get tad bits of information. It's definitely not not full open notebook or anything like maybe last year, but it's definitely still nice, right, to get some stuff, and the Penske stuff here at Atlanta has been really, really good. I feel like they're the best cars that can come out here, qualify really well, but then still race extremely well too. So I've been pushing our guys to try and get as much information out of them as possible, and I feel like they haven't really had the results to show for it here, but I feel like they can control this race as good as anybody.
Have you asked Michael Waltrip for any advice on how to handle the Aaron sponsorship?
Man, we were just talking out there. He said he had him with his race team from like the 90s all the way till they shut down. So that's a long partnership. So we had some fun on social media going back and forth. I think that's probably Michael's strongest suit. Obviously, he's a really good race car driver, but with sponsors and going out of his way and being that extra little bit, right, take care of people. I feel like that's probably what he's really, really good at. So it's exciting to have Aaron's back, and to have him on my car, right, after they've been so involved with the sport for so long is really cool.
Move forward, because we have to do that. We have to work with each other, and I feel like me, Joey, and Austin are always on the same page on speedways, and that's why we're so good, and our cars are always up there. So it was just one of those things. Just a shame that a couple of us got it ended our day. Well, it didn't end mine, but we got to work.
Brian, the success of the Penske cars on Superspeedways has carried over here to Atlanta, despite the fact that handling has come more into consideration here, particularly as the track is aged. What is it about Penske's Speedway platform and Speedway program that has allowed you guys to carry over the success you've had with Daytona and Talladega here to Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean, I think our group brings, and I apologize if I have a lisp. I got these teeth things in, but I think it starts with building, really fast race cars. We bring that to Talladega and Daytona, and it translates here. Obviously, you have to handle a little bit better here than a Talladega, and a little bit better than Daytona. And I feel like we have a fairly decent idea of the balance, how much more handling do we have to tune in while not giving up a bunch of speed. And that just is a product of working really hard with all the crew chiefs and engineers, and kind of what direction we're going to go. So hopefully that continues to apply. Each year this place gets a little bit worse as far as grip, which is good. I think that's going to make it for even better racing. It's just a lot of hard work by people and drivers that work really well together and find each other and just try to figure out, hey, how do we be successful here together? And so it's a big group effort.
How do you use that emotional swing?
Just have some good speed, qualify well, race well. The grand scheme of things, I think it's fair to say that you're going to have to win to be in the playoffs. So obviously that's a goal. But more than anything, we just want to be competitive these next few weeks, especially once we get kind of into more of the traditional racetracks. And I think think we have the tools to do that.
Yes. Hey, Priest's wreck at Daytona, very unusual. Cars have flown before, but that was weird. Does more need to be done from the bottom of the car or whatever to keep cars on the ground?
Yeah, I think that's something that definitely needs to be looked at. You look at my flip in August there and Priest's flip. The cars aren't going that fast when they're flipping, which to me is a problem. I think for the sake of racing, really, I think we need to take. We want to see drag out of the cars and probably a little bit higher speed to separate the pack some. And we can't do that if their cars are flipping at 160 miles per hour. Obviously, that's how fast my car was going in August. Having the two car next to us played a part in probably packing air underneath of it to flip it over, but we're still only going 160 miles per hour. So I mean, it's hard to argue that we need to make the cars faster if they're flipping that easy.
It's not about the speed; it's how the air is reacting with your car and everybody else's car.
Well, I think in my particular scenario, that's what they found to be the issue. But with Ryan's was a totally separate incident, and obviously is catching all the air up underneath the front. And I mean, it, like he said, his words were, it looked like a sheet of plywood. And I mean, really, I think that's an accurate thought on it. I think it's definitely there's a lot more to it than just taking the underbody off, but it's definitely something that needs to be looked at.
Did his reaction that night impact you differently? Most times when guys have these really spectacular wrecks, they'll get out and say, well, the safety stuff worked fine, I feel okay. One of the first things he said was he thought about his daughter. I mean, that's pretty poignant.
Yeah, I mean, that was a strong comment. I think it just, he knows better than anybody. He's been in some tough situations there that he should feel like he can speak his mind. And I mean, to me, I think it was, that was a unique scenario. And they've done a lot to help it since his flip a couple years ago, right? I mean, it's not aesthetically pleasing, but they paved all the backstretch to kind of help the car from, doing anything to get air up underneath of it. But we still are, finding ourselves in these positions. And I think, if you just keep doing the same thing over and over, you're going to get the same results. So I think they're going to have to, maybe think a little outside the box and change things up a little bit. And, hopefully that can keep the cars on the ground.
What has it been like getting acclimated to being under the Team Penske roof through the first few weeks after being at Stewart Haas?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a different experience. There's a lot of great people there and a lot of great people on the 21 team. I think Miles Stanley's done a great job adapting to his new role and doing all us doing all we can to work together and be prepared. So I'm excited. I think it's been a really fun process. Obviously got through our alliance, having some champions to lean on, I think is going to be a really benefit as we get going throughout the season, and I feel excited for it.
So the two races here last year had the most speeding penalties, I think it was 10 and 12. Just how much of a more of a challenge is it getting on pit road here compared to other tracks?
Yeah, it's just definitely unique. I think I was one of them that got popped with that last year. It's just hard when you pit under green, how the corner speed is so much different than the front stretch speed, the traditional pit road speed, that it's just easy to kind of not leave yourself enough time to get down to pit road speed, and that's what I did last year. So those are things that we worked on over the last couple of weeks, using the simulator and stuff to get some more reps at all that, to be prepared to not have any mistakes.
The Vivid EV Anthem is the essence of American spirit. Made with lithium battery technology, this neighborhood electric vehicle features vibrant colors, diamond stitch seats, and seats up to 6. It isn't just made in America, it's made for America.
Steven Stump of FrontStretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.